Hi, I'm Laurel Smith. Today is February 11th, and it is week 6, lab 9, and I'm in Bio 225 microbiology class, and I will be doing my experiment of the environmental influences on the microbiome growth, salt tolerance, and pH. I have already cleaned my area with 10% bleach. I have my correct PPE equipment on, which is my apron, my gloves, my mask. I have my second candle here that I have moved on to because the other one has already been used up already. And here is my alcohol with my pipette in. And here are my 6 tubes of the broth, 3 of them. Say S. epi that I have written on. One is 1%, 7%, and 15% of the sodium chloride. I have labeled them there. And the other 3 is the S. cerevisiae, 1%, 7%, and 15% sodium, chloride sodium. And I have my active S. cerevisiae and my active S. epidermis. Okay. And I'm going to start with my active culture for my broth of my S. cerevisiae. I'm going to remove the lid and I'm going to sterilize both. Oh, this one's hard. There we go. Okay, I'm going to sterilize and I'm going to place my pipette and my active cerevisiae, and I'm going to put 2 drops into my broth S. cerevisiae of my 1% and my 5%. Okay, 1% and my 7%. I'm sorry. Okay. I got mixed up with the 5 ml, so I do apologize. So I'm going to sterilize my 7% sodium chloride broth. Going to take my pipette from the alcohol and I'm going to take some out and drop 2 drops in both the 1% and 7%. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I didn't get enough for the 7% Staph cerevisiae. There we go. I'm gonna place my pipette back in so I can sterilize my 1% and my 7% cerevisiae and put the lid back on, both of them. And I'm going to do the same thing with my 15% S. cerevisiae. Going to sterilize. Okay. Going to take some of my S. cerevisiae active culture and put it in my 2 drops of my 15% sodium chloride. I almost forgot to sterilize the lid before putting the cap back on. And I'm going to sterilize my active Staph cerevisiae and put the lid back on. And I'm going to move over to my S. epidermis, 1% and 7% chloride, sodium chloride, I'm sorry. Here is my active epidermis, S. epidermis. We're going to sterilize the active S. epidermis first. We're going to sterilize the 1% broth S. epidermis. And I'm going to do the 7% S. epidermis. Okay, everything has been sterilized. I'm going to take my pipette and get some of my active S. epidermis and drop 2 drops in both of my 1% and my 7%. Get a little bit more of my sodium chloride. I'm going to sterilize both of my broths, S. epidermis, 1% and 7%. Place the lid back on. Place them in their tubes. And I'm going to do the same thing with the 15% sodium chloride. Okay, I'm going to take my pipette and I'm going to get some of my active Staph epidermis. I'm going to place 2 drops, 1, 2. I'm going to put the pipette back in the alcohol. I am going to sterilize my 15% broth of my S. epidermis. Put the lid back on. And I'm going to sterilize my active S. epidermis. And I'm going to refrigerate them back where they were at. And now I'm going to incubate in my laundry room my 6 broths of sodium chloride. And I will come back in 24 hours to see if there was any, it's called tuberty, I believe. So I'm going to see if there was any turbidity of the broths. If they're still clear, then that means that it's negative. If it's positive, if it's not clear, then it'll be positive. And I already see some already getting cloudy. So we shall see after the 24-hour incubation. Thank you.